GHASA Radio, ENA or Gyamfi, His Excellency Benjamin Tufikwashi. Like I keep saying, as we speak, he is the NDC as the Council of Elders Chairman. And I did an attitude. He was every brave, able son now. Why a father said, for being in a no, needs to is in change. The tram now, over the moon, so he be standing in His Excellency, Mahama, was also no appointment so far, no. How do you see it? Is it equitable?
I think that this is the first time in the history of our country where no region is complaining after major appointments have been made. Look, every region has got a representation on the appointment His Excellency President Mahama has made. President Mahama, like I've indicated, has taken out this whole regional balance, tribal balance, and then national balance when it comes to his appointment. Look, Nana, I know that there are people that are peeved. There are people that have agitated and stated, say, the appointment have not gone in one way or the other. I keep on telling everybody that, look, the president has about 10,000 appointments to make as the commander-in-chief and the president of our republic. I'm not sure he has even done up to 5,000. I'm not sure he has even done up to 3,000. Let's all be circumspect when we decide that we want to castigate the president and say he should have appointed this person there, this person there. The President Mahama, I know, is a very consulting gentleman. He's a person who brings everybody's opinions on board. He listens. He's a listening president. So if you ask me, I'm okay with the appointment he has made so far. I'm sure that the Ghanaian people are okay with the appointment that he has made so far. Hitherto to this administration, there were appointments that you could hear that somebody and the wife have been appointed, somebody and the brother have been appointed. But in this administration, the president has ensured
there is no nepotism.
There is no nepotism. There's no family and friends like we saw in the previous administration. There's no undue advantage being played by any other person in terms of his appointment. And I think that the good people of Ghana are proud that they voted for this reset agenda.
Okay, so with your government, you didn't mention, but I'm intro more like on the grassroots of where what was about the best only more emphasis on it. Debris, some of them are not happy. How is your government dealing with that?
Oliver Twist says he wants to say thank you, but he wants more. Look, I understand the grassroots very well because we won this election at the grassroots level. Ubetia, during the campaign, His Excellency the President always said that he was going to pay attention to the grassroots because everywhere we go to, people complain. People say, oh, ya tuabama NDC na moba munimye, because munkofa certificate imbra, because yenkoye wimbra. But the president gave everybody the assurance that this time round he's going to focus on the grassroots of our party. I can assure you, say, it is exactly what he's doing. The grassroots appointments be more bar. One classical example is a gentleman called Nikwe, who is the CEO for DVLA. You should see how the grassroots is happy that he has gotten that position. You know that when you go to DVLA, there are Goro boys, there are boys who stand and do other things. This is a gentleman that is the CEO now that believes that he wants to rope in the grassroots of our party to ensure that they are employed. Look, the persona of President John Dramani Mahama, he's a unifier. So the president will not want to prioritize the NDC members more than the general Ghanaian person. But like he said, they fought for this victory. They went out there to vote. I know people in the grassroots who traveled across the breadth and length of Ghana to go and share this reset agenda, the better Ghana agenda that the NDC had promised the good people of Ghana. I know grassroots people who have lost their lives. I know grassroots people who have lost their jobs just because they aligned themselves to the NDC party. And I can assure you, say, I understand the agitation. The party understands the agitation. But what we want everybody to know is that we are just making sure that the fundamentals are gotten right. The moment I have fundamentals right and then the economy takes off, Nana, the grassroots will be the happiest among our people.
It's grassroots,
Of course. We remember that the president has inaugurated a committee that is supposed to see to the implementation of the 24-hour economy thing. Now, that has been our flagship program. we came into power at the back of the 24-hour economy. We cannot get it wrong. What we are doing now is to ensure that remember, in implementing the 24-hour economy, there are a lot of legislations that need to be worked on. One, it is under the labor laws of Ghana, you go to work at 9 and you close at 5. But now we say we want a 24-hour economy. There should be a legislation that protects it. There should be a legislation that makes it something that no other government can come tomorrow and come and, just change. A typical example, the free SHS. I remember President Mahama saying that it has come to stay. When you have a good policy, when you have a good initiative, I think, we should get to that point as Ghanaians where we don't become vindictive and don't continue what one government has done that is good, so that the next government that comes or also follow the same. Because I think the NEC has shown the way. We've supported the national health insurance. We are happy with it, and I'm sure, like I have indicated, the moment we legitimize the 24-hour economy, the good people of Ghana, and especially the grassroots of the NDC, will be so much taken care of.
It's the grassroots for your government, our government, His Excellency Yera Unyunyamfo, John Dramani Mahama, so do have you at heart, and Niema Edekofai Ediamamo. So every day, the internet is buzzing, and it's all about that fine gentleman, Honorable Sammy Gyamfi, and I'll read on your Facebook wall. You posted something there, and Mekani are not so Eddie Ebusa was and Benjamin Kwashi Edia Ewo Facebook near he writes, and I read, he says, Sammy Gyamfi, those of us who are close to you know your level of generosity. You give so willingly, even in opposition. You have helped and given money to people that I have personally witnessed. One thing the naysayers are forgotten is that you have worked hard and made a fortune, albeit however small for yourself. You didn't go with the camera to record the benevolence to someone who rather strangely recorded for her ulterior motives. We stand with you. Okay. Into we cracker say their era Sammy Gyamfi ya or much na boss on social media NDC more a bit even in the MPP also so much say, but you see nothing wrong with it. Let's link it to the code of conduct Yaman Penning launched recently. Era Sammy Gyamfi on your biakeke then and now. And for him doing this, even though say one recorded somebody did that and it's now in the public domain. Do you still say there's nothing wrong with what he did?
I think, Nana, I'm happy that you have read what I posted on Facebook. Nana, I have known Sammy Gyamfi for years now. And the Sammy Gyamfi we know, even in opposition. Mekai, there was an instance that Sammy decided the focal point was in the Ashanti region. Why? Because he believes if our people come out to vote and the message gets to our people, we would win the elections from the Ashanti region. So, lawyer Abbas Nuruddin Oye in charge of communication in the Ashanti region. No.
But sorry to bother you, Kakra. If you can get a bit closer to your microphone and then amplify your voice.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Thank you.
Very loud and clear now.
Thank you. So, Sammy, like I've indicated, ensure lawyer Abbas Nuruddin and the communicators in the Ashanti region were very well taken care of. I remember, he did something that was so touching. There was a time somebody decided to give phones to the party, mobile phones to communicators, because they were always complaining. And Sammy every day was receiving reports of one my phone I better communicate serial callers because say how do we communicate. And so Sammy began. I've read the code of conduct. Yesterday, because I knew I was coming here again, I took my time. I slept around 3 a.m. this morning just to grasp what the code of conduct says. Nana, there is nowhere in the code of conduct that has established that no appointee should give something to somebody.
Okay.
The code of conduct only talks about receiving. when you're an officer and you receive something that is above $20,000 or 20,000 Ghana cedi.
That's receiving.
Yes. I'll read it for you.
Stamp is to receiving. Sammy didn't receive.
Yes. So let's read 1512 under the code of conduct. It talks about gifts.
Okay.
Now it says that I'll jump quickly to B under 1512. It says that where the minister wishes to retain gifts received, he may do so only if the value does not exceed 20,000 Ghana cedi. It goes on to say that where the estimated value of the gift is more than 20,000, the minister or the government appointee may retain the gift during office, but must declare it to cabinet in the interest of transparency. It's in the code of conduct.
Yeah.
It has stated, say, if you receive something to that tune, Sammy didn't receive anything. You know why there's a brouhaha about Sammy Gyamfi and Niawayeno? It is because President Mahama wants to hold his appointees in high esteem, very much accountable. You need to ensure, and he has stated it time without number, say, in his government, there's no place for complacency. What Sammy did, if in Ibotum, have we established as a people, those who are asking that he should be hanged, whether he took any money from government coffers to go and help Agrada? No. Now, from where I sit, I know, say, most of the people working at the presidency, most of the ministers have not been paid yet.
They've not been paid?
Yes. People. No, it is because the president wants things to be done and done right. I know that there was a committee that was looking at the emolument. Remember, he says he wants to abolish the Article 71 holders. So whatever he's doing, he wants to do it on the basis of the law.
Okay.
Sammy didn't do anything wrong, but we are holding Sammy because we believe that the moral height that the NDC government has put for itself, everybody should hold it in high esteem. And so I think that Sammy has done well by apologizing. I think that he has shown remorse. The concern is that, say, ABR, he was fighting it and says, and those kind of things, and somebody will complain. But this is somebody who quickly said, okay, I have done wrong in terms of what the NDC has preached against. And so I don't think that those who are calling that he should be hanged are doing anything right to themselves. But here, MPP for Nakaza Crisis here have made a U-turn.
I saw that article.
Yes, believing that, look, Sammy has done nothing wrong. Sammy has apologized. And this is a wake-up call for all of us. All of us in government, all of us who might be appointed, all of us who have been appointed, that the politics we do now is different from those that we've done before. Nana, the NEC party has got very huge role models that sometimes, with President Mahama himself as a communicator, when you have the very late venerable Harry Sawyer. Those days when these people come on shows to talk, or when you hear that there's an interview that they are coming, the ET man says, the Obed Asamoahs. So there is this level of respect in the NDC party that those of us who are younger would have to achieve. We are not there yet, Nana. I can assure you, say, we are learning. We are not there yet. I don't see, there were days that when President Mahama, then communication minister, you hear them going for interviews. I remember those days, I'll sit by TV, I'll sit by radio to listen to them. They didn't have Google at that time. They didn't have Hey Siri at that time, but they communicated. And so we should be careful as a people not to quickly want to hang people. What we are doing to Sammy has been an excellent communicator for the NDC party. Sammy has been an excellent communicator for the Republic of Ghana, because now he works on the gold board. Everything that he's doing at the gold board, together with the finance minister, together with the cabinet, together with the government, together with the president, is what has made us get to where we are.
And talking about the gold board, let me say, now he's sitting so for him to flaunt money in that manner, not just say, even though he's well-to-do, he's a lawyer, he has his own money, but they say, and now you're giving away money just like that. But Memo answered that and more questions coming through. Mami announced me test line. We also live on social media on our Facebook page, GHASA Radio. You can find us there. Obviously, the text messages so about or your WhatsApp message to 084-689-6372. 084-689-6372. We have in the studio His Excellency Benjamin Kofi Kwashi, NDCSA Council of Elders for Chairman, and then no actually common no ewo aha yeka ira sami Gyamfi wansam ya bo nima bebre so NDC 120 days in office so far no is so good. He rated the NDC and the Mahama government 70+%, and they've also spoken about the Mahama care and then also the difference between the Mahama care and then the NHIS, what you must say it's a backup everybody yepa. And what she and the about Ira Sami Gyamfi honorable in their air cost watch one year she and Yinya said yeah hang it no. So the test line again is 084-689-6372. ATDB Eka and it's Otisika so into no the away any dear in Tray and common so no more fancy example na monomum penny for a mobile money. And I
think so
because he has apologized, like you rightly said, or we've seen.
Nana, there's one thing I want to indicate. What kind code of conduct now? Under 1.3, it talks about civility, courtesy, and restraint. Oh. I'll jump to C under civility, courtesy, and restraint, which says that use decorous language even in the face of provocation. D, take reasonable care to maintain the integrity and reputation of the ministerial office. E, avoid offensive or provocative language or conduct. What Sami Gyamfi did, say Anka Sami Gyamfi ekotenani came when Agrada was, trying to get his attention, and he went and sat in his car and just left. We would have categorized him as being offensive.
Exactly.
We would have characterized him as being abusive or being arrogant. And President Mahama in his code of conduct have stated, said, Nana, you think Sami doesn't know that Agrada has been insulting John Mahama? You think he doesn't know? Sami leads the communication of the NDC, so Sami knows. But we have moved from that stage of having personal vendetta against individuals because we are in government. The good people of Ghana have voted for us. I said it on this show one day that the moment you elect a president, the person ceases to be the leader of only a group of Ghanaians, the NDC. No, the president now is the president of the Republic of Ghana. MPP, NDC, CPP, PNC, GCPP, all of them become one under one presidency. So, Nana, I think that those of us calling for Sami to be pardoned have advanced enough and cogent arguments that will make His Excellency the President reprimand him and ensure himself. Because look, Sami is there for the grassroots, and the grassroots is solidly behind him. Those that told us that what Cecilia Dapa did was not wrong are those people telling us today that we should hang Sami Gyamfi. Sanka. Nana say somebody has gone to Sami Gyamfi's house, and now say somebody has gone to the gold board and say oh, Sami didn't inside Shishkebim, and then we've seen that he's sharing money. Then we can come back and have a discussion. But this naysayers running helter-skelter, being in this country when Cecilia Dapa's issue came, and the arguments they gave, I think morally, they are bankrupt. They are bereft of. We wouldn't even listen to them. What we will know is that Sami will not do this again. He will not make this mistake again. He would ensure, the code of conduct that we are all supposed to work within its framework. He does what is necessary.
Okay. Let me read some messages that came through whilst you take a breather. This one says, good morning, GHASA Radio. I commend you and your production team for this interview. You address your guest, His Excellency. Does that mean he is the confirmed Ghana ambassador to SA? I think we're going to answer this later. This one coming from Lisbon, and the name is Sechibia. A lot of messages coming through. With time, not making kind of messages in the AJ Amau. You could saw AJ and come up. NDC, are you on a Brofunum Poma? Esimu ye dingwa. sacking spree. You Busano no. CJ who says some and Nipa be a appoint you more after 7 December and there are so many things that for. Are you on a sacking spree or something?
Well, I think the NDC has indicated clearly, sir, we are law abiding, we follow the law, we follow the constitution, which is the framework within which every government operates. Those appointments, Nana, that were made after 7th December, clearly were appointments that were made with bad intentions. And so if you are leaving government, if you are leaving and you are handing over to somebody and you employ people and you expect that, where do we get the money to pay the people in terms of remuneration? Why didn't you employ the people those 8 years that you were there? And you see, the MPP have forgotten that they had created this precedent. This precedent that we have all come to follow was done by them. When Osafo Mafo sat before the appointment committee, he indicated clearly that he will sack because they were made in bad faith and they were made after a government that was outgoing had lost an election. What has changed today? It is the same constitution that we as Ghanaians are following. Nana, CJ, to the Speaker of Parliament, claiming say there is a constitutional crisis because of certain things that were happening in Parliament. She woke up in the morning and panel judges, and she said they sat on that case. Before that case, there were cases that when we were in minority, we are taken to court that were urgent cases that needed attention. For example, when they were transmitting the LGBTQ bill to the president and he refused it, and you had an arrogant man like Asante Bedietu writing a letter to Parliament, and you ask yourself, say, where did we go wrong as a people? Gertrude Tokono, the CJ, was relaxed. She didn't see anything wrong with that. She didn't see anything wrong. She didn't see that justice delayed is justice denied. Under Gertrude Tokono, the then Auditor General, Yadomelevo, took a matter to court. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, ex-President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, had terminated his appointment. He went to say he did nothing wrong. On the basis of which the president was terminating him, he felt that the nearest place to go to was to go to the court, because as a citizen there, if the legislative arm of government and the executive arm of government be against somebody, you know, said the judiciary is supposed to be an independent arbiter when it comes to these things. When Yadomelevo took the case, the court delayed, and then when it was time for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to have finished his term, then the court made a ruling that the president was wrong in sacking Yadomelevo. But at that time, Yadomelevo was gone. Where was the Chief Justice? We've had a Chief Justice who has been an extension of the executive branch. Justice Gertrude Tokono, she never pledged allegiance to the laws of the Republic of Ghana. If you ask me, she pledged allegiance to the president then, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Because everything she did, Nana, are you not surprised, any time the Supreme Court, there's any matter that goes to the Supreme Court, we Ghanaians are able to determine the outcome of it even before they come out to come and say something. You should not be able to predict rulings of courts. But under her leadership, we were able to confirm and say, the ruling will be 7-0. The ruling will be 7-1. It got to a point where they saw that we were getting the answers correct, 7-0, 7-7, 7-0. Then now they came to do 6-2. They came to do 7-1. They gave an apology of a judiciary. And Nana, at this point, the good people of Ghana voted for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC to come reset the country. The resetting agenda includes the judiciary. And we believe in the NDC, Gertrude Tokono being there as a Chief Justice will not help in our reset agenda. So for me, the judiciary will laugh again, the judiciary will smile again. The good people of Ghana will be so happy with the crop of judiciary that we will have under the John Mahama administration. But take note, President Mahama is not going to skew the benches of the Supreme Court. Just recently, the case that was taken to the court to determine whether indeed a prima facie case has been established against the Chief Justice when what is his name, former Attorney General, Odame, Gefred Dame, went to court to challenge it. What was the ruling? 3-2. 3-2. So you should understand that now we cannot even be able to tell where the ruling of the Supreme Court that we have now will go. So you see, there's independence now. There's nobody who is going to sit and say, oh, you have to vote this way. If you don't vote this way, the president will get angry. No. And I'm happy the Chief Justice is gone. The Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokonu, the former president, what's his name, Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, these two people are public officers. That should never happen again in anywhere of the world, because, in fact, they brought disgrace and shame to the offices that they occupied.
So, at the end of this CJ suspension, any idea, Nasa, she still remains in office. Will you be disappointed?
No, she will not remain in office. So don't even go there. The CJ.
So you are confirming
no.
the CJ will go?
No, she would go. Even a child knows that the CJ will go, because Nana, there's somebody that doesn't believe in John Mahama and his administration. Chief Justice Tokonu stood somewhere and said that in the history of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa has been a doyen of democracy. Nana Addo Dankwa has been a doyen of the law. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is the president that nobody has ever had in the history of this country. You hear comments from a woman like this, and you want her to be maintained. Maintained to do what? When you and I know that the atrocities that were committed under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has never happened in the history of our Fourth Republic, have never happened in the history of our country. I also Westwood gun violence. A whole public person, some, excuse my language, riffraff, dressed in police military uniform, slapping a member of parliament in the full glare of the Ghanaian people, in the full glare of the entire world. What did the Chief Justice do about it? Was somebody arrested? A report was presented to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The white paper came. He said no, he doesn't agree with it. He was not going to implement it. You had a Chief Justice who supervised against these things, and you wanted to come back. Come back and do what? I think that it is better that we stay as a country without a Chief Justice than having a woman Chief Justice in the name of Gertrude Tokonu, who has been an albatross on the neck of Ghanaians. The judiciary was supposed to be where we all ran to, but all of a sudden, we started running away from the judiciary just because of one woman. And I can assure you that she's a goner. She won't come again. She will not be a Chief Justice. For me, if I were her, I don't know who are her advisors, I wouldn't be fighting this. Because at the end of the day, if she fights this, I don't think that she should be asked to proceed on leave or whatever. She has to be dismissed, sacked, so that she gets no emolument from government, from Ghana. She did the same thing to Charlotte Osei. Gertrude Tokonu is not better than Charlotte Osei. The same way that somebody filed a report against Charlotte Osei and she went through the process with His Excellency the President, went to the Council of State, it's the same thing President John Dramani Mahama is doing. So why the hue and cry? Why are we having different set of rules when it comes to different set of people that have become a president in our republic? Unfortunately, I don't do this, but I have this passion for the judiciary, and I think that far too long we have suffered as a country. Let's reform the judiciary. Let's forget about the NDC, MPP, CPP politicking, and ensure we have an independent judiciary that holds the Constitution of Ghana high, not the appointing authority. Whoever becomes a CJ should know, or no, is responsible to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana is which people? We the Ghanaian. So your allegiance should be to the people of Ghana and not whoever appoints you. So if John Mahama appoints, His Excellency John Mahama appoints somebody, the person should come and know, his or her allegiance is to the Constitution and not to the president.
That was going to be my second or my next line of questions. Who appointed CJ? And when we say it's the president. So then the question still remains: Won't he appoint Obia or be working in his favor?
Well, we have people of conscience. We are people of conscience. Those days of Justice William Atuguba, where people were saying Atuguba was an NDC person, Did you read some of the views of Atuguba when he was on the bench? Some of those rulings, if he was indeed an NDC person, some of the rulings that he had, he would not do it. What am I saying? I'm saying, say, whoever is appointed should know, say, yes, I've been appointed by the president, but my allegiance is not to the president. When that person, he or she is being sworn in, the oath the person swears is to the Republic of Ghana. It's to the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And I think, say, Nana, what will make you and I believe, say, we are past that stage of an appointing authority having a domineering effect on an appointed person, is when we go for the constitutional review. Some of these appointments will have to be taken away from the president. Some of these appointments, but you see, if you take it away from the president, you put it, let's say, on the General Legal Council, the body that regulates lawyers, the justices, and all of that. But that council is also politically naive when it comes to how they do their things. So until we have a review of the 1992 Constitution, that review including the appointing authority and the processes that we'll use in appointing a Chief Justice, in appointing an IGP, in appointing an immigration boss, or even justices to the appellate courts of the country, once the Constitution is able to guide and not give those sweeping powers to the president, we'll be making a headway. And I can assure you, say, with the majority that the NDC has in Parliament, we are going to do a lot of amendments to the Constitution. It is at that point that you realize, say, the NDC, as voted by the overwhelming almost 2 million people extra to form next government, and we are in government, they put us there to ensure, say, we reset everything about Ghana, and that is what we are doing.
Using your number of people in Parliament, minority,
no, we are not minority, we are majority.
Sorry, did I say minority?
Yes.
Minority, I don't say a macro.
Yes. They are not happy to hear it, so let's just call them minority.
Okay, it's more numbers are more a majority, constitutional reform. Do you think that Nema will go in your favor? I'm going to try to watch it.
The good people of Ghana knew this before they voted for us. We didn't rig the elections. The elections were determined by the good people of Ghana. They gave us an overwhelming endorsement. It is because they bought into the manifesto of the NDC. We went into the election with two separate parties presenting two separate manifestos. They chose the one of the NDC, and that one included judicial reform. That one included reforms in all sectors of the economy. That one included environmental reforms. That one included moral reforms. They voted for us to be able to put into practice the things that we said in the Constitution. We're not going to use it to our benefit. Nana, Afenyo-Markins have had more time to speak in Parliament than even the Honorable Mahama Ayariga as the majority leader. We've given him the latitude. We've given the MPP that opportunity to be a proper constructive opposition. Unfortunately, they've decided to go different tangents. Whether we work with them or whether they decide not to work with us, the Ghanaian people have already decided. That is the majority they gave us. We have almost 100 members. It has never happened in the history of the Republic of Ghana. So we'll consider the constitutional review should start any moment further. There's committees that have been set. Nana, the Constitution needs an overhaul. The 1992 Constitution for example, I have always preached about the sweeping powers that the Constitution gives the President of the Republic. Look, yesterday I heard somebody complain that there was a political vacuum, where there was a presidential or constitutional vacuum when President Mahama traveled out of the country recently. And I went back to read a ruling by Justice Dateba. That has been the figment of imagination of Justice Dateba. Does it mean that a president that has traveled out of the jurisdiction cannot rule from there? No, a president can rule from there. These are the things that the Constitutional Review Committee has to look at. Look, we have even amended our laws in a way to say that your birth certificate doesn't determine whether you're a Ghanaian citizen or not. We need an amendment to this. We need common sense to be added to the law, so that as Ghanaians, we'll be able to say, oh, this law that is passed now, if you take it to the right, if you take it to the left, whatever it is that you see means that there should be a reform. Nana, I think that the NDC will not use the majority we have to the disadvantage of the Ghanaian people. We'll use it and use it. Nana, you're not surprised that within the first 120 days, we've allowed how many demonstrations in the country? under a certain president, will you go and demonstrate? The IGP will stop you. Or we have an IGP that has we have, for the first time in the history of Ghana, demonstrators being met by the Attorney General, Deputy Attorney General. We went there to see them and to say, oh, guys, I hope everything is going well. I hope nobody is mistreating you. I hope nobody is manhandling you. That is the change we voted for. And that is the change that we are going to use our majority to ensure that it benefits the whole of Ghana and not only some few people. You know what? We faced this pain 8 years ago. There were precedents when the Honorable Haruna Idrisu was telling them in Parliament that you are laying a bad precedent. They had the numbers. They passed it. People like Kingsley didn't see nothing wrong with it. They were happy because it was their government in power. So it is a matter of politics more than law. But that is the reason why I say that any person in the MPP should always blame Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for what we are going through as a country. He's the one that has brought us here. So after the Chief Justice is gone, after the Electoral Commission, I don't even know why President Mahama has delayed with the Electoral Commission. But you see, that is President Mahama for you. Not vindictive. He wouldn't force and push it even though he knows he has the numbers. You think that if it was Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo at this time, Electoral Commissioner who declared an opposition leader president will still be there? No. But President Mahama has allowed the commissioners of the Electoral Commission to still be there. The Chief Justice is gone, or is a goner, because our judiciary cannot be reformed with the person who has made it what it is today. Let me conclude on this matter with this analogy. Ghanaians said we were not happy with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and how he had ruled the country. So what did they do? They voted him out. They voted in John Dramani Mahama, believing that he will come and do things differently. Is that correct? Yes. We are complaining about the judiciary. So if you want to reform the judiciary, what do you do?
Okay.
So people should answer this for themselves. If you want a reform in the judiciary, the person that was there, just like Nana Addo was executive president and he was taken out, the judiciary and its head and some of the justices will have to go. That is the only way we can develop our judiciary.
That is the only way we can develop our judiciary. So many messages coming through. You can also do the same by sending your message to 084-689-6372. This one coming from Bubuashi Cynthia, and she writes, Mr. Host, your guest is telling us the NDC government has solved all the problems in Ghana. 70% scorecard. Hey, politicians. And this one also says, GHASA, can we have these interviews more often? Your guest is well informed. What role did he get since the party is in power? We are yet to find out. And this one says, great show, Kweku. Kindly ask your guest, 70% plus rating of President Mahama is a far-fetched. Kindly ask him what's wrong or mistakes can he point to within the last 120 days of the NDC. I remember him mentioning something about Galamsey. Okay, so these are a few messages that came through. Again, you can send yours 084-6896-372. It's +27. Yeah, Your Excellency, questions to be brave about meaning the why you cry to say we are not at Emma at
I have not said, sir, we have solved all the problems of Ghanaians. No, I have not said that. And I have indicated, sir, one other area that I believe that we need to work quickly on is on this issue of Galamsey. I heard somebody ask me on a show one day that we promised to end it within the 120 days that we find ourselves. But you see, it is different when you want to solve something holistically, not, that try and error kind of solution. And I think, sir, we can do better as a government. And I know President Mahama has it at heart to end this Galamsey issue. We would end it. We would ensure, say, our water bodies are returned to its natural state. Our forest reserves are not plundered by individuals who want to, have their selfish egos and monies to do whatever they want to do. Nana, Ghana is better than it was when we inherited it. Ghana is better globally than
yes, within these few months.
Nana, have you seen the report that the cedi has been the best performing currency?
Yeah, look, maybe some maybe the forces were wanting to name us.
Oh no,
or it's too
no, they have.
Okay.
They have. As of yesterday, first time in the history of the republic that Guta has asked that they should reduce fares for their people. I got a message from a shop that I used to buy from in Ghana, Okadeko, that they are cutting down goods and services 15%.
Wow.
Iron rods prices are coming down, cement prices are coming down. It is not the same MPP, the naysayers who said, we cannot do nothing about the economy. Nana, we are building an economy. We are not there yet. At the end of the day, that economy should be so robust that you and I and our kids and the unborn generations will come and say, indeed, there was a president who took the bold decisions and ensured that we had a very buoyant economy like the NDC and John Mahama wants to leave as a legacy.
Okay, it's the honorable and the Yenna Ethiopia GHASA radio. Be a bisa intino when cran a babe high commissioner, ambassador, a wine, and ye be who say yummy, say you were with me, say honorable Babetanano. He has agreed to set Wabeka a day at Traying. This is GHASA Radio, and I am your man for the afternoon. From now till the hour 2, Nidia, a young Komonkwa, and Yababiti live on this radio station. And we will be a link in one Mount Kwawinti. The big announcement is about to hit the airwaves. Onkwa Menti, share the link, and Amma will be so in TAB. Then I say, Meti say, Yentin fi honorable Ankasano. List be a leaky about Bonte. We did a huge video about it and an busa. But the one tricky thing about that list now leaky is our very own His Excellency Edini Wino country be and shano into nim baby omdeneko. Say the idea Braille House omdeneko America and then he be to America hobby. If you say he's somebody we all love to be with. Okay, honorable one Munsu NDC Abai Yura Mahama Abai. Why are they? Or do I say he?
So
the ABA can say, oh, what for we their mano currently need the High Commission one will be anti one NDC Abambaye or Mode Ama Edi Excellency who's a color bikra abisai tester be abisai say why we addressing you, Your Excellency. What is it that we don't know?
I think that sometimes when you are able to get certain things done, because I had always, even with you, I remember sometimes when you send me texts and how you address me, I tell you when I'm responding, I'll put my name there as Mr. And I have done it countless times, but the more you do it, the more people refuse to listen to me when I put the Mr. there, then they use the HE. And so I had a political godmother who once told me that I was in front of her and I was addressed as such. And I'm like, oh, Doc, that's not my name. And she was like, no. Sometimes when people who are able to make kings realize that there's a king in you, you don't stop them from it. And I think that I learned a lesson from that. So I don't stop people from mentioning that. The president, like I indicated, is the appointing authority. The president is continuing to make appointments. And I have indicated that wherever the president believes that I should serve, I would serve there. You spoke about a list that has come out, like you indicated. We've not heard the Council of State confirming that list to be. We've not heard the presidency confirming that list to be genuine. So for me, I believe that it's hearsay. People have seen it. Somebody says it's a genuine document that was leaked. Someone else says it's not a genuine document that was leaked. He has not asked me to be a high commissioner. Has the president indicated to me, say he's sending me to a different country? No, the president has not indicated that to me. Has there been any communication officially between the Office of the Council of State and myself? No, there has not been any official communication. Has there been an official communication from the Office of the Chief of Staff to me? No, no official communication. Has there been an official communication from the Office of the Executive President to the President? No, there has never been any communication. All I'm saying is that the president continues to make appointments. And one thing I know is that if the president believes in you, that you are able to serve and work within the confines of the code of conduct that he has given and work within the confines of the setting or resetting Ghana agenda, the president will likely appoint you to serve. So I am happy that people have called, people have asked those questions. Are you the one being appointed? Are you the one going to work as the High Commissioner? I have given one answer, and I continue to give that answer, that if the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, believes that I would be able to serve him and the good people of Ghana well by being a High Commissioner, I would gladly accept it, and I will do it. But as of now, let it be placed on record that I have not been contacted from official sources.
I say, and you news any petty.
So like I said, it is right that people would want you to get to that position. It means one thing: they might have seen something that all others have seen. That is why they are clamoring for one to be there. You understand? So if what they've seen, and based on that they make these assertions, are the same things that His Excellency the President will see, then it means that the President will make the same assertions as them. So for me, I have indicated that the President is doing a lot for the Republic of Ghana. The President is doing a lot for the betterment of the Ghanaian people. Let's not push him when he has not gotten to certain appointments. What I know is that when the time is right for him to make those appointments, the President will make them.
When the Chief of Staff at GHASA, Ira Julius Deborah, and then Ira Callistus Mahama, in connection with this essay, ambassadorial position, have you spoken to them? Have they spoken to you?
I have just answered, but I know you are pushing me to answer again, so I'll state it again on record. I have not had any communication from official sources, from the Office of the Council of State, from the Office of the Chief of Staff, from the Office of the Executive President to the President, and even from the Presidency itself. Nothing. So it's a clear answer. That is why I am not able to confirm or deny the list that you say you have received or you've seen like everybody's seen. What I know is that if indeed those names are the names that are penciled by His Excellency the President, there will be a confirmation one day or not. But as of now, I haven't spoken to anybody from officialdom. Yes.
As a Ghana for South Africa, Nanka, when I would say a Ghana Commission or Pretoria Hatfield, some be disappointed. What about you?
I don't think that they should be disappointed,
okay,
especially when it comes to us working as Ghanaians for the betterment of all of us. I've told people that you don't need to be appointed to serve the people. I'm sure that within the opposition days of the NDC, we in the NDC in South Africa have continually served the good people of Ghana based in South Africa. We never went to government for any loan. We never went to government for any support. We never went to the High Commission and said, oh, please, this Ghanaian, that Ghanaian has challenges. What can we do to help? In our own corner as NDC people, in our own corner as individuals, we have continuously helped where we are able to help. So I don't think that anybody should be agitated. I don't think that anybody should be disappointed, because I can tell you one thing. If we all know President Mahama like I know him, he has a conviction. He has both the conviction, the power, and the determination to ensure, say, I want to appoint A to go serve me in this destination. If the president decides, it means that the president have seen your capabilities. Now, on this subject, I'll give you a clinical example, then you understand. Few days ago, the president swore in Matilda Siedu as a deputy governor of the Central Bank of the Republic of Ghana. I remember when the name came up, I didn't know the Asiedu for Matilda. I knew her to be Matilda Asante when she was at Joy FM. So people were agitating, and I said, oh, but she's a journalist. Oh, but we know Matilda. She left Joy FM about 5-6 years ago. I think that she went into her own media space. We were all making this speculative analysis. During the swearing in, funny, the president said yes. Somebody called him as a president of the republic and said, oh, people are not happy about Matilda Asentu, is she qualified to be a second deputy governor? His Excellency John Mahama didn't take a phone to call the person and say, oh, Matilda, she did this, she went to this school, she went to that. What did the president do? The president says he just asked the person for his WhatsApp number and he forwarded Matilda's CV to the person. And the person came back and said, sorry, Mr. President, we didn't know that she was disqualified. So that is the John Mahama that we know. That is the president that we have as a republic. He knows everybody's capabilities. And if he feels that you are right for a position, you don't need to agitate. You don't need to get angry. The president will do the right thing.